Today we're going to review the list of watches that were in my collection for a while but ultimately didn't stay. It's a somewhat extensive list, but I'll try to quickly explain why they ended up leaving my collection. So let's start with the Breitlings. The first one I got was this Transocean. I purchased it online thinking I would keep it because the watch is spectacular and the movement is incredible and it looks amazing. However, when it arrived, I realized it was 44 or 43 millimeters, which was too large for me, and honestly it looked a bit silly on my wrist, so I ended up selling it. Next, I got the Breitling Premier. This watch came to be sold in my store, and as it often happens, I liked it and decided to keep it for a while. The in-house caliber from Breitling is truly remarkable, and you can see it, the BO1 is spectacular. I sold it because I received a good offer, but everything about this watch was perfect. The blue dial, the sapphire crystal, the glass back, and if I get the chance to buy it again, I definitely will, and I would like to try it in some other colors like green. Then we move on to the Trilobe, an independent brand with spectacular movements and amazing craftsmanship. I had wanted this watch for a very long time, but I was a bit frustrated when I got it because the micro rotor wasn't working perfectly, and especially since I had dreamed of the version with the green dial or the blue dial, but I got the white dial. I tried it on with different straps, and while it looked great, I just wasn't fully convinced. After that, we have the Seiko Tentagraph, which is the most beautiful Grand Seiko. It's the brand's first automatic chronograph. The blue dial was incredible, the texture was spectacular, and the movement was the most amazing part of this watch. However, the only problem was that it was too big for my wrist. This has been a criticism of Grand Seiko for a long time, that all their sports watches are extremely large. So I will have to wait for them to release a 40 or 39 millimeter version. In the meantime, I sold the watch. We also have two classics that go hand in hand, the Omega Speedmaster Apollo 8 and the Omega Speedmaster 321. The Apollo 8 is a crazy watch. Ever since I saw it, I knew I wanted it. It has a black ceramic case with yellow details, and the movement and dial are decorated with the moon texture. It is truly amazing. When I bought this watch, I got really excited and wanted to start a Speedmaster collection. And that's when I bought the Speedmaster 321, which is the ultimate vintage piece that everybody wants. This watch is special due to the 321 movement, which is practically the same reference the astronauts took to space. But as often happens with the Speedmaster and me, started to getting boring. And the problem with the Apollo 8 was that it was made out of ceramic. And I'm a bit careless with my watches, so I was afraid of breaking the ceramic case. Therefore, I sold both watches. I also had the Pelagos FXD, which I think the Pelagos is the best watch Tudor makes. The problem with this version, the FXD, is that it only accepts NATO strap. And I believe the main attraction of the regular Pelagos is the bracelet. And to be honest, I'm not a fan of NATO strap, so I sold the FXD. Then there was the Glashütte Senator, which is an incredible watch with a spectacular movement. The finishing was out of this world, but I have two issues with this watch. First, it came kind of damaged, the finishes weren't well taken care of. But my biggest problem though was the watch didn't have a second hand, which really frustrates me. So I sold it. Next, we have two watches from my favorite brand, Jaeger-LeCoultre. The first one is the Memovox, and the second one is the Master Geographic. They're both incredible, complex watches. One had an alarm, and the other one was a world timer. The thing is, I didn't really love the case because it is quite thick and doesn't conform well to your wrist, and I felt they were too big. So despite loving the complications, I had to let them go because both have almost the same case. From the same brand, I had the Polaris, which I thought was an amazing watch. I really don't know why I sold it because I loved it. So if I get the chance to buy it again, especially in green, I will do it. Now, to close out the list of these watches that didn't stay in my collection, we have the Tag Heuer Carrera Heuer 02. It's a spectacular green watch with an incredible movement like the Heuer 02. But again, it was a very large watch and it just didn't fit my wrist properly. We're almost at the end of the year and soon there will be two videos about my collection. You'll see why I divided into two videos. But thank you for watching. I wish you all the best and I'll see you here next time.